Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first talk of 2022. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. We have two special guests that's joining us today from South Africa, and they're from Cape Town. I just want to give it another minute or two before I bring them on, and so that we can start the talk. I hope you guys had a great festive season and it's been really good and everyone is safe. Back into the working mode again and really, really enjoying the kickoff of the year. We wanted to bring together some insights regarding, from an astrology point of view and from a numerology point of view. I had a lot of people asking me for what does the year hold ahead? What is the cosmos is linking us to? And what are some of the numbers that are sharing with us? So I've brought on these two beautiful souls from Cape Town. I've worked with Kim. You have seen Kim on Open Mic before, and obviously Dyan from South Africa as well. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining. There is prizes, there's giveaway prizes as well. Please stay around. There is a draw that's coming through, and you're gonna see what's coming up. Lots of fun stuff that's gonna be shared with you guys today. So I see there's about 4 people that's currently on at the moment. Guys, we are streaming on various platforms today. So in order for you guys to enter the draw, you have to say in the comments. So if you are streaming live and if you are listening live, so you're gonna have to hashtag for me a comment. So it's gonna be hashtag global 6 year. Okay, I hope you guys got that. It's gonna be hashtag global 6 years. I'm gonna put it up myself so that you can see who it would be. We're gonna do a lucky draw, and the prizes, like I said, will be given away. So let's kick off our first show so that we have our guest on. Hello, ladies. Welcome. 2022. Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good, thanks.
We're fine.
So guys, we have viewers coming in from Facebook. There's a private group, the Open Mic page, and our YouTube channel as well. So we are streaming from 3 different groups. There is a giveaway prizes. I am going to put in the comments right now for you guys, so you guys will be able to see how the giveaways are going to work. So before we kick off into the insights for 2022, I first want you to introduce, each of the speakers and, a little bit about themselves, but more especially is that, what is numerology? What is astrology? A lot of people, ask these questions. I myself have done my numerology with Kim. It's been some really, really great insights, and I can share with you some of the things that has happened with me in 2021, which Kim has helped me understand better. So I want to give it over to Dyan. Dyan's coming from Cape Town in South Africa, and she's an astrologist. So Dyan, do you want to introduce yourself and basically a little bit of insight of what is astrology for people?
Okay, so what is astrology? Basically, we're looking at the patterns of the planets that are in the sky at the time of your birth. So when you do an astrology chart, you need to have the exact place. So you've got the lines of longitude and latitude, you've got the time, and you've got the date, so that you can see what blueprint you actually have when you incarnate as a soul. It's all about the soul journey, predominantly the astrological chart. And then through that, throughout your life, you can look at the transits. In other words, planets that are moving in the sky today. How is that affecting your birth chart now that you were born with? So it's a very interesting study. It's an endless study. I mean, every day I feel like I know less and less. about it, but it's fascinating, and we are all interconnected beings, so we can't see ourselves as isolated humans on a planet. Everything is connected. So the more you actually connect with the concept of this astrological ideas of what the cycles, especially, the more you'll see how they play out. It's very fascinating.
Wow. Diane, can you just check your audio for me? It seems that Kimmy cannot hear you for some odd reason.
You can't hear me, Kim?
Kim, can you hear now?
But
I
Kim's
can
gone.
hear you, but I can't hear Diane.
Okay, can you hear me, Shishni?
I can, yes.
I don't
The
have my
peop-
mute button on.
Okay. If anyone's on the live stream right now, can you hear Diane and Kim? Just pop me a message on the comments, please, so that we can just check the audio. Kim, can you just check? There's 3 dots next to the mic. Can you just click on that mic for me, please, and just see?
My mic is not muted.
So they are saying that they can hear us all.
Oh, good.
I'm not
Okay.
too sure. All right. Yeah, everyone can hear you. I think it's just your side, Kim.
Okay.
Do you have headphones, maybe?
No,
Okay.
it's fine. Let's see if Diane carries on, if I can hear her.
Okay. All right. We'll check. All right, Kim, over to you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so a lot of you may have listened before to a little bit about numerology, but if you haven't, basically it's a system of analyzing numbers with the outcome of getting to a focus point or an answer if you have a question and answer. But it also tells us a lot about themes over time based on the number system from 1 to 9. And I use the Pythagoras system, which is the most universally well-known system. There are others. But numerology is basically a tool that we can use to get to know our inner selves better, have a look at what our calling is, have a look at our soul's urge and our destinies, how maybe we lose ourselves, and we can use these tools of numerology and astrology to bring us closer back to an understanding of our truth. And we can do that in the same way, analyzing the numbers globally and for countries and for periods of time, and how those different things intersect. And that's what we're going to have a look at today.
Okay. Sounds absolutely fascinating. Okay, so for our viewers, when you are hashtagging Global 6 here, don't put any comments with it. It must be a standalone. I see Kevin. If you can just not put your comments with the hashtag, otherwise it's not going to pick up, right? So Kevin's online. I think I can show his comment. He's very intrigued about the conversation right now. So just hashtag Global 6 here. That would be great, guys, in order for you to be part of the draw. Otherwise, the system is not going to be able to pick it up. All right. Okay, ladies, so let's kick this off. So, Diana, I'm going to hand it over to you for you to start this conversation, and let's go over to that.
Sure. So this year, I'm sure most people have already got the feeling that it is lighter. I'm not saying it's easier, but it's definitely lighter than the past few, or definitely the past 2 years. But the aspect between Uranus and Saturn continues. In other words, freedom. People want freedom. Uranus is freedom, chaos, disruptive, and Saturn is duty, order, old hierarchies. So in order for us to change the current systems, we actually need them to be broken down. So it's part of a process, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing that we root out corruption, that we get to the truth of issues, that we have more power to the people, because that's where we're actually moving. And at the very same time, so is the earth. The earth is also shaking and moving. So this year is said to be one of the, well, so in the last years of the big weather disruptions. So volcanoes and high winds and flooding and that sort of thing, where the earth is changing. And because we are so linked to the earth vibrationally, we also feel that disruption and that change. So there are some absolutely amazing opportunities this year, though, to open up to your soul journey, to make a wish, to feel that idealism, to really, you can read the article to get to the exact dates and where this all transpires. But because there are also eclipses which exacerbate, they really push the issue forward. So on the 30th of April, for instance, it's a good time to make a wish, but it's also a solar eclipse with a lot of other aspects saying, what about my stuff? Because the main thing that we're going to be looking at this year is the shift of the nodal axis from Gemini and Sagittarius to Taurus and Scorpio. So what does that mean? We're moving away from data, communication, talking, opinions to my stuff and secrets. So what do I own? It's yes, and Taurus is land, it's agriculture, it's our possessions, it's our resources, but it's also our value system. So we'll be looking for the next 18 months at how do I value myself? Where is my self-esteem? And learn that value does not have a price tag. So it's the shift away from saying I'm valuable if I've got branded clothing, a fancy car, and a cell phone that says something to me, whatever. So we need to start moving. And Scorpio is the spiritual aspect, balance, the materialism, and the spirituality. We need to bring that essence back into our lives, because we've reached a point of peaking with everything. We just want more. People want more. There's massive consumerism. We can't actually do anymore. We cannot take more out of the earth. We can't accumulate more stuff. So it's about what is really important to me. Who is valuable to me? What do I want how do I want to be in this world to add value for the greater good, which then feeds into this age of Aquarius, which is I contribute to the group. In other words, we are because I am. So each person adds their value to the group to enhance the greater good, instead of from the age of Pisces, which was about 2000 odd years, going, poor me, I'm the victim, give to me, look after me, I need you to take care of me. So we're moving away from this martyrdom, this self-indulgent kind of way of living, to come on, pull up those socks now and add value, because that is how we're going to move forward with communities. We're moving into a completely different system in the age of Aquarius. So that is how we can move towards communities where everybody works together. And the real push behind the age of Aquarius and the various other astrological aspects here is not to identify with a group, because as soon as we start becoming, I am part of this group, I am part of that group, then it's divisive already. And that is exactly what politicians use. Then they set this group up against that group, these two groups are fighting, and then they just get on with doing whatever they want to do. So we all need to stand together. It's important.
All right. So Dyan, you've mentioned a whole lot of things right now. So Kimmy, can you still hear Dyan?
Yes, I can hear her now.
Fantastic. So Dyan, we're definitely talking about looking at oneself versus the collective that people are looking at, and the introspection that we are doing with self as a person. So, and I think we've started that process, right? Given what has happened with us in the pandemic in the last 18 months to 2 years, and what has constrained us, it's definitely something that we've started. What type of reflections or introspective one would look at in terms of asking self, if that makes any sense.
It's basically, I think the best way is to get out of the self, get ourselves out of the way. We get so self-involved and so I, me, my about issues. So step out of the way and look at the bigger picture. As soon as things become overwhelming and you think, I don't know what to do now, it's the spiritual nobility, the aspect of the eagle medicine. It's rising above and looking down so that you get a perspective. What is actually happening here? And absolutely important is having a mind of your own. Do not take anything from anybody, because you have to work out, how is this true for me? Do I believe that? We can't be sheep anymore and just turn on the radio and the TV and go, I saw this on the TV, it must be true. And also delegating all our authority to the media. Who is the media? I mean,
Yeah.
who is this? This is someone writing an article, and now, is it true? Is it not true? We have to keep questioning those kind of things and really aligning with our inner truth, with our gut feel, and go, right, this is what I think. This is what I believe. I'm going to be sovereign. We are all sovereign beings. Nobody controls us. Nobody controls our body. Nobody controls our soul. So that important thing is, how do you get up every morning and say, I am me. I'm here on a journey. I am here on purpose. Because that you'll see in your astrological chart as well. There's a thing called the North Node, and that'll say, here's your life purpose. This is the head of the dragon. You come from the tail. The tail is what you've done in the past life. You are now here. Now be here on purpose. So that we start not getting caught up in drama and all these other ridiculous fringe fanatics that are going on the side. It's just like, whew, shut it out and go, I'm here on purpose. I'm going to add value by being me.
Yeah. I don't think I've listened to the news the past 3 years.
That's
But
great.
3 years. I mean, I stopped listening to the news, guys. I don't know about you, but it brings
Yeah.
absolutely no value to me as a person,
No.
right? I am not ignorant of what's going out there in the world, right? However, if you have to really listen to what's being said, it is not for me. It may be for you, but it's not for me, right?
Exactly.
And
It is about the choice. Yeah.
it's about a choice. It's something I've been reading and I've been studying quite a bit in the last 6 months, Diane, is perceptions. Human behavior, consciousness, and how their perceptions and experiences experience through consciousness. Very
Yes.
interesting studies that have been going on, but I've been studying now for the past 6 months, and it's quite interesting to see how your perceptions actually contribute to how you live, how you feel, how you judge, your ego. It is amazing the things that are out there that we just don't see and consciously aware. Let's talk
It's
about
the
the
link.
Chinese New Year, because I did read that in the article.
You what?
The Chinese New Year that
Oh,
you
yeah,
mentioned.
the year of the water tiger. Yeah, the water
Yes.
tiger is strength and courage. So it's about getting into that courage, having the courage to stand up and say what you believe. Be in your personal power. Don't stand back. You don't have to fight. Everything is always labeled the war on terror, the war on corona, whatever we want to say. It's not a war. Just do it with a smile. We can be very powerful when we stand with an open heart and say, that's not for me. Just as you said earlier, the news, that's not for me. And then smile about it, but don't get all entangled with it. So, I mean, that's the water tiger, and also issues around water. Our respect for water, which I think in Cape Town we really learned when we had the drought. So, and there you're having a nice sip, you see. So,
I know, right?
so it's the litter, it's the pollution, and also things relating to shipping. So, what's happening with shipping now? Are we going to still receive goods from abroad? All these kind of issues around water and choosing love, because it's an emotional thing. Water is the emotions. So 2022 has very often been cited as the year of the heart, the year of love. So it's how do you get into that and not thinking that working from the heart is soppy. Working from the heart is anything but soppy. It takes courage, intense courage. But when you realize that the more vulnerable you are, the more protected you are, and the more strength you have, then you really become the water tiger. So it is using your strengths and vulnerabilities and opening them up and then becoming that person, the action and willpower. So the other thing with this water tiger is be cautious of financial risks, which ties in absolutely with the nodal axis of the Taurus Scorpio issue, because the North Node in Taurus is banks and money. And at the end of April, we're going to be asking ourselves, is my money safe? Are my things safe? What's going on with the banking system? Because, you know, I'm sure you've heard about this Pluto return to America, which means that structures that hold that country together are going to be challenged. So we need to look at what's happening on Wall Street, the stock market, all those kind of things, and say, what am I, it's the emotional attachment that we have to our material things. We have to just leave a little bit of breathing space there, because there are going to be times when we think, hell, what's going on here? So no big financial risks this year from the tiger and from the astrological aspect. And also with quite a strong lineup of planets at the end of May, it's hell of a tense. So often when these aspects line up, people say there's going to be war. So it can just reach a point of aggression with threats, whatever, but it's building up this year, it's building up. So we just need to keep an eye on that as well, because that also often destabilizes things. But not forgetting that the chart and the astrological things incline. So there's an inclination for this to happen, but it does not define that it's going to. We have free will on this planet. We can make choices. People can stand up. They can protest against this, because we will be having a lot of civil unrest throughout this year, as much as we will have unrest on the planet Earth, which is fantastic. It's shaking us up. It's like, wake up, people. You have been asleep. Wake up. So it's an exciting time.
And to your point, right, it's got a lot to do with the environment as well. We've taken a lot of things for granted these past years, in the past decades, right? Let's be honest, past decades. We don't realize what it's done to the economy, what it's done to the environment specifically, the damages that it's caused, the unrest in the animals at sea. There's just so much of things that humanity has not seen, has not spoken about, and really, to be honest with you, their awareness that was not really brought forward is now coming to light, which is quite scary to think now we do it because of what's happening from a global warming perspective and also from an earth perspective. The natural disaster that has happened in 2021, it is absolutely unheard of at that given point that so many has happened at one time.
Yes, this year is going to be pretty much the same if things pan out, in the same predictive way. And it is, as you say, humans have to be really in a crisis before they do anything. When people are too comfortable, they just say, oh, well, whatever, let me just go and buy this and buy that and have my offshore investment, or whatever they want to call it. You know, it becomes too, we have to realize, we have to look at what is, shuffle our value system and start valuing the people around us, valuing our soul journey, our spiritual path, valuing our spiritual connections, all those kind of things that have just been absolutely swamped by the Western way, because everything here is worshipping money. It's just that makes you happy, and not having it makes you unhappy. It's just, it has too much effect on our emotions.
So true, so true. Just some comments coming through here, Diane, for you. If you can just have a look at the screen. Can you have a look at that? You see it just
I'm
popped
looking
in
at
there.
the
I'll just
screen. Oh, there. Okay. Yeah. Yes, not believing. Absolutely. No. I totally support that. We need minds of our own. We absolutely make up our own. We need to decide what is true and what is not true. Because the amount of garbage that's been spewed out at us, and we're just supposed to lap it up like sheep. No, sorry.
No, it's
No,
fine. So then let's take a break with astrology. Let's go to numerology, guys. Let me give it over to Kim. I think gather your thoughts. Diane. Kim, I'm going to hand it over to you, guys. Any questions for Diane? Send it through the chat. Let's have an interactive conversation. Share your thoughts, share your feelings. What's coming up when Diane just mentioned that, right? Let's get interactive and let's get our speakers to see what's on your mind at the moment. You know, they're here to help you and they're here to give you some encouragement and share with you some of the insights that they have. So put some questions in, just have a think about what Diane says. Kim, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thanks, Shishni. Yeah, thanks, Diane. I always love listening to Diane. It's just such a, it also, her guidance is so anchored in a priority upheld in the spiritual quadrants, because the reality is that we live in this material existence and we forget. We tend to like get caught up in the speed of things and we like forget what is my spiritual anchor, and that element of power this year is really prevalent. Even though the global year is 6, it's about caretaking on every level. So caring and this feeling of all-encompassing love. It's no longer love of the self. It's like an all-encompassing. We need to love Mother Earth back into balance almost. And obviously the twos have been a role player. If we backtrack for like the last few years, you can see how we came out of 2019 having been stuck with 1, 2 until 2002 gave us 2 twos, and then 2012 gave us 2 twos, and this is the first year we've got 3 twos. And I kind of think that the spiritual element becomes more amplified with that level of sensitivity. We actually really find ourselves craving much more of a harmonious existence, especially based on the last 2 years of absolute what has felt like diabolical tyranny, and a kind of deluded state of how did that just happen? You know, we've almost been shocked by necessity into, wow, have we all been sleeping? You know, and did we just wake up? So I think that's really what this is about in a way, because the chaos theory has taken us right through from 2012 to 2021, giving us that vibrant and chaotic and really energized catalytic 5. And actually this month we're shutting down the 5, because essentially your new year really does sort of activate the end of January if you look at the whole philosophy of the astrological years. But it doesn't really matter to me. What I look at is the energy of the numbers. And what's fascinating is we're clicking into a global year 6, which means that January actually starts on a vibrational 7. Because January being the first month of the year on that number calendar means that we add the global year 6 to the number 1. And it's funny because it's actually making us start with the 7, which is introspective, examining the self and looking at your spiritual elements as a priority as you head into the year. Like, what is really in the foreground for me? It's a very deep introspective and practical 7, because it holds the number 4 in the front of it. Because if I do the split numbers in terms of the global year we're in, our 6 is made up of a 4 and a 2, which means to some extent we are still in the cage of finding our security, the 4, and the 2 making it all about sensitivity, stability, diplomacy, and peacekeeping. And then that brings us into this lovely flower of beauty and harmony and the craving of maybe the vision. We have a vision now of how we want things to go forward. And a lot of the sixth numerologists are speaking about the global year 6 being currently about revision. So we maybe had a vision before of what we thought was what we wanted. And now with the awakening of the last few years, the last decade, perhaps, we actually really are seeing things a lot more clearly as they really are. And it's almost like the triple twos are giving us a couple of mirrors to look at. Because I think it is vitally important to always begin with the self. You know, I'm starting with the man in the mirror, because that's where my control is. I have control over my behavior, thoughts, what I put into my head, what I speak out of my mouth, how I judge, how I think, how I act, how I do, what I give, what I take, what I buy, what I don't buy, how I give back, etc. Those are choices that are available to me, and I have control over them. That's my center of self and my power. So the global year 6 is very strongly going to emphasize your most important relationships and the responsibilities around those relationships. It's not only the self, because the self focus has to be for a much higher order. It's got to be for a much higher octave that you are focusing on that, because the 6 actually wants to effect change in terms of being able to give to humanity. It is the ultimate nurturer, caretaker number. And it's got a lot to do with a loving, but not too much self-sacrifice, but quite a lot of sacrifice. There's a very big difference between self-sacrifice and sacrifice. And one needs to find that balance as well, recognizing that we're in a very sensitive category with all these twos, because the twos, no matter how we look at this, are being amplified times 3 to give us the 6. The 6th global year is going to be one where you see both. We're always going to see the positive, negative, and destructive forms of all kinds of energies. And a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say. We're going to still be in that state of a lot of information being thrown at us, and we're going to have to recognize that we have very, very low threshold of the ability to take on too much information because of the 3 twos. We are hypersensitized now to too much. And it's really decision time as to what you put down in terms of your boundaries, because number 6 requires really firm boundaries. Otherwise, it can be exploited. So have a look at those areas of your life where you need to readjust your boundaries according to how you are revisioning. So what you thought you wanted maybe at the beginning of last year has already shifted at the beginning of this year, which it should, because you went through major changes last year, both intrinsic, extrinsic, a lot of factors. You would have naturally needed to, by this point in time, revision things. And it's very important in numerology, even astrology, to perhaps even have an individual session done, because these things are very personal. What is happening in my life is different to what's happening in a life path 5, is different to what's happening to a life path 1. It's different in all our lives. So it's important to kind of also have, if you feel like you need a few more answers, make sure you get an individual approach, because sometimes that'll help you find your revision so that it's more of a clear vision. Globally, there's going to be so much going on in the area of caring for people. I'm picking up in my numerology quite a lot to do with food and famine, and the availability of food and famine, immune system issues, suffering is going to, it's always been there, but there seems to be like these crisis points, and there's going to be a lot of forming of organizations, caretaking organizations that need to be structured by those in charge who have to go to assist. And that means you in your community can be doing things at the level of your influence. Don't think it's only for the big guys who have all the money, because, that's, their department, and I can't really be of service, because this year is going to be about sensitivity and loving service. Not just in your own family where you're needing to really take things back home. So we're working on 3 levels, 2, 2, and 2 levels of sensitivity. The man on the street that needs a loaf of bread every week, you're going to drive past him, you're going to make sure you give him his loaf of bread. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let me consistently see who I can be caring towards, or show support, show encompassing love to. So it's a little bit of sacrifice. It's not, as you say, that era of martyrdom and self-sacrifice, which is a dying concept. It's being buried, because we're realizing our authenticity is aligned more closely with purpose, and we've got to be self-nourished and self-nurtured in order to have enough to nourish others and nurture others. So it's really a balanced wheel of energy. I think we are kind of re-blueprinting a little bit this year. Obviously, like a lot of things are attached to us now. If you want this, you got to do that. There's two things going on all the time, this plus that. If you listen to the scenarios, there's always like a thing. I've got to do this in order to go over the border, and we're going to see difficulties in that kind of thing. Passports, tax, all of these things. There's a lot of accountability and responsibility coming into the foreground with the number 6. It's almost a little bit like, mother is standing there at the kitchen and she notices that somebody pinched the condensed milk. Come on, oh no, who took it? If you don't answer, I'm going to come find you. There's like a little bit of that stuff going on small, medium, and large scale. Quite exciting, but also accountability is definitely on the card. I think for the spiritual journey, the 2s are very, very important to pay attention to, especially if you're a life path 11, especially if you're a life path 2, especially if you're a life path 6, if you're a life path 33-6. There's a little bit of like heightened triple awareness of kind of the demands for you become a little bit more amplified. Nice thing to notice as well.
Hold for me, Kim, 1 second. So, guys, I asked in the chat, do you guys know what your life path number is? Do you guys know how to calculate your life path? I'm not too sure. We have some people on the call that's been following the talk. So if you know what your life path is, just put in the number. I'm a 5, right? So I'm a life path 5. I'm a 32-5. And, Kim was, and just to put some context for you, Kim is talking about last year was a global year 5 and this year is a 6. And Kim was talking about how you would have to re-envision and how you'd have to redo things in this year. I am rethinking and re-looking at things as well. So re-envisioning things, give the responsibility, there's a whole host of things. So Kimmy, before you continue, I just want to show you this comment. Can you see that?
Yeah, my life path is a 6, but I'd like to have one of Numerology. Fascinating. I have a question. For past 2 to 3 months, I've been seeing the number 947 often. Very interesting. Okay, so actually what you're seeing there is a very practical combination called the 911. Wow. I have quite a lot of 911 and 910 conversations myself. The fact that you're seeing the combo of 947 is fascinating, and especially since that you've got a double impact of a global year 6 with a life path 6. What you really need is a much more detailed answer than this, but if I'm going to simplify it to the 911, it's practical support and help that you, in your own practical and very functional capabilities, can offer to be of service to family or community or organizations. You've got to decide where you're being called to help, where your responsibilities lie, both with yourself, your family, your relationships, and then how that is going to, what are you doing both mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in your own self-work that enables you to practically offer help to others. So you're essentially the proverbial caretaker, and you can operate at 100 miles a minute because you're a life path 6. So you're bodily, physically capable of quite a lot, and you're obviously able to really talk a lot. So what is it that you're offering in that 947 pattern? It's almost like angelic support is also coming through to say, you've got that idea and you know that it could work practically. You may want it to happen idealistically, but find practical ways to implement something that's idealistic, that isn't necessarily going to be in an ideal. So it's a tricky number to analyze very quickly, but hope that helps.
So, Amina, hello. How are you doing?
Hello, Amina.
I hope you're doing well, sweetie. It's good to hear from you. It's good to have you on. Amina's a life path 11. Number 47 is interesting, she says, Kimmy.
Yes, number 47. So, yeah, I think just what I also wanted to really emphasize, I like the synergy that I see in Dyan's astrology towards the end of the year. What I actually did earlier to prepare for the talk was I decided to take the life path of South Africa because we all live here and we all love this country and we're kind of stuck here. So, like, I thought, well, if I were to treat South Africa as a person and I'd give it a life path number, and I love doing these kind of explorative kind of little jaunts that I do because it gets boring just analyzing numbers. So I want personalities to look at. So I went back and I looked at the life path of South Africa and where we actually established our independence, which would have been our theoretical rebirthing into our independence. So the newborn of the South Africa was 31st of May 1910. That gave me certain numbers. And then it also, if I look at the number that is South Africa's number, it adds up to a 49. So there's that 49. The 7 is spiritual, but 49 is a big number. It's got to do with, look, we are traditionally by nature, we are like make a plan people. We work, we slave, we toil, and we go to sleep, wake up, and we hit repeat. And we are quite pragmatic, idealistic, realistic people as a nation. But we're also, as a personality, the interesting thing is we fall into the category of a life path 11 on that specific birth date number. And so I think in South Africa and in the people who are life path 11s as well, we're going to see this amazing continued striving for freedom. And how we identify ourselves as South Africans is going to be based on this number 2. And this year it's amplified, actually asking us to please start taking care of each other. This all-encompassing love is at the foundation of it. And we've got to start using this vision here because it's the opening of the 6th chakra in a global year 6. It's really asking you to see with the third eye. Stop just looking at the black and the white. You actually have to see with your other set of eyes, which is truth. And we were talking earlier, you were saying about perceptions. Yes, your perception gives you your truth, but you've got to start seeing through those 3 twos, which is really only to revision by finding your truth. And then also not having to, I think I quoted in my article this Rumi saying, free is the one who's not offended by the insults of people, the judgments of people. And the hero is the one who does not offend those who deserve it. So even if somebody is disagreeing with you, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because my ultimate aim is peace and harmony. So last year I was fighting for freedom and making a big noise and causing chaos. And this year 6 is saying, hey, quit the chaos already. Let's just harmonize. So you've got a G on the scale and I've got a C on the scale. We can still harmonize. We're doing different things, but we can harmonize. And I think South Africans are actually like this. We're gifted in this way that our diversity is going to be tested to the hilt. Our divisions and separations are going to be tested. There has to be law and order established because that's going to bring a new kind of law and order is going to bring us through the chaos, not necessarily out of it, but through it. It's going to be a navigation set. Because we need the 6 needs boundaries. It needs something to say, hang on a second, you can't just do that. Let's talk about a way that we can do it.
Yeah.
It's a mediator. It's a mediator.
Yeah. So Kevin is definitely going to look into it, Kim, and he's definitely grateful, for the insights. Kevin, I can honestly tell you, I've done my numerology with Kim. Being my personal year last year, and it was spot on. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to have met Kim. In fact, Amina, that's on the line, is the one that introduced us together. And when I met Kim and she did my numerology for me, I was amazed with the things that I've learned about myself. I think more especially what numerology did for me, it gave me answers that I had questions for, but I didn't know why. Or I didn't know certain things that I did that I didn't know why I was doing it. And I'll give you an example. I'm a solo traveler. I prefer traveling alone. I didn't know why though. And people thought it was strange, and people thought, why would you want to travel alone? When I did my numerology with Kim actually enlightened me as that I am actually a free spirited person. I love my freedom to express myself in the way that I do certain things, and traveling being one of them. And it was the most profound thing that made so much of sense to me. And I'm always grateful for insights from Kim. So, Kevin, highly recommend you do numerology. It is, especially if your life part, you are life part 6. There's an article that Kim and Dyan wrote for the 22 Insights. I did put a link in the chat, everyone. So if you want to know more about your life part and what does it look like, Kim did write a very, very high level about what it's about. Have a look at the journal. You'll see definitely says there's definitely some insights and valuable information of what to expect. So Kim, I think somebody wants to, or I think somebody also wants to know, how do you calculate numerology? Your life path
Um,
more?
so the life path, you just keep adding up the digits of your birthday. So my birthday is 1801, 1973. So I add up 1 plus 8 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 3, and I come to the number 39. And then I add the 3 plus the 9, and I get to the number 12. And then I add the 1 plus 2, and then I get to the number 3. So I'm a life path 3. And then basically, we can take a whole conversation from that.
I hope that's helped to actually find what your life path is. We also
Yeah.
have Glennis that's here, and she's just saying numerology gave me clarity to my authentic self. Very nice
Hello,
to
Dennis.
hear this. It's great having you here as well. So, Dyan, I want to give it back to you. And before I give it back to Dyan, what I would like to do, as I've got this new tool and I'm so fascinated with it that I decided to do it today on our draw. So let's have a look quickly and let's do one draw. So Dyan is an author of this book. It's called Spiritual Change. Is that correct?
No, it's actually there are 10 South African authors who contributed to this book. I'm only one of 10, and it's called A Spiritual Toolkit for Dealing with Change.
Okay.
And it's got all different flower essences, yoga, breath, and sound healing. It's got a lot of different aspects. It's basically a very practical toolkit. How can I use these things that are in this book to navigate through this change?
Okay. So guys, I'm just playing around, so don't get
Okay,
annoyed.
now I can see.
Okay. So
I've
let's
lost
do
Diane
this.
again.
Hold on one second. I just want to do this quickly. Let's see if this works, guys. Okay, let me just take this out. 1 second, guys. Okay, here you can see this is the draw. We only have 5 entries. And if I do the draw, it quickly gives there. And the winner, Kevin! So
Yay.
Kevin, you're gonna receive the book from Dyan. It's all, like Dyan was saying, 10 South African authors, and they are going to we're gonna post it to you. We'll get the book to you. So congratulations, Kevin, on your win on that book. Great to know that that's something that's there for you coming on your way. Well, definitely, he says thanks so much. All right, Dyan, let me give it over to you quickly. Some of your insights after Kim's talk.
Yeah, I think that they do dovetail. The numerology and the astrology does dovetail. Kim can't hear me.
Okay, just hold for me 1 second. I just want to do this. Okay, Kim, I think
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, Kim?
I can always hear you, and then Dyan just gets lost. I can
Okay.
see her, but I can't hear her. Yeah, I can't hear her.
Oh.
I don't know if everyone else can hear her.
Okay, let's just do sound check again. Okay, I think the sound will come on again like what happened before, Kim.
Okay, cool.
So let's
Okay.
try it, right?
Is it on again? No? No.
No, she's not hearing you. Yeah, she's not hearing you.
Okay, shall I
Continue,
Go ahead,
Dan.
or-
Continue. It's fine.
okay. Okay, so I think
As long as the audience can hear.
yeah. I think the most important thing really for this year and beyond is to get rid of fear. We cannot live in fear. So that is a choice. We either live in love or we live in fear, because you can't have fear and love in the same person at the same time. So don't choose fear. Trust your gut feeling so that you can become this tiger. So have your willpower and your courage to move forward. And we need to surrender to change. We are in transition. So this is going to happen. It is happening. So there's no point in holding onto old things and old hierarchies and old known ways of doing things and whatever. That is done. And it's a very, very exciting time. It's actually considered to be a very great privilege to be on the earth at this time of the Great Awakening. So just flow with it and be the fearless tiger and go out there and be your best self. Just being. Don't have to do. Be your best self.
Just be.
Yeah, don't
guys,
take
sorry.
everything so seriously, because we need to
Yeah.
laugh more. We need to have fun. We need
Yeah.
to enjoy life. We've spent so much time being serious and trying to accumulate things and fulfilling social norms and values and then compromising our own happiness. We need to just lighten ourselves up and shed
Yeah.
light and be the light.
Yeah, people are just too serious in life, right? They forgot
Too
what it's
serious.
like to be too way
I mean,
too
things
serious.
are going to happen. Wars
Yeah.
are going to be threatened. Money, places where our money, banks are going to shift. We don't even know what the currency is going to look like over the next few years. So yes, there is change, and change is not always easy to manage unless you enjoy it because it's exciting. So just right, there's the next change. Well, what can I do about that? Nothing. I choose my response. So that's the most important thing.
I was going to say, I choose my response. I love that. I really, really love that, Diane. I think at the same time as well, sometimes we need to take a step back and really prioritize, what's important to us today. Whether it's to go outside and skip, to go
Yes.
outside and play a game.
Yeah.
I bought my daughter and my son these guns, right? It's
Yes.
these pellet guns that you shoot. It's got this plastic thing in it, and it's soft dart games.
Yes.
You wouldn't believe how much of fun I had running around the house doing that, right?
Yeah. It's fantastic.
You just forget doing
Yes.
those
We
things,
must
right?
play more. We really
Yeah.
must play.
I must admit, right? I think I cried myself yesterday laughing because the kids themselves, they're just so playful and they don't take life so seriously like how adults do, right? And it's amazing how much you can learn from just being a child, and sometimes we do need to do that. Kimmy, before we go to you, let's do another draw. I'm hoping I'm going to get this right now, okay? So let's share screen. Okay. So let's see if we can. Okay, guys. So Dan's got one more book. Let's see who this is going to go to. It cannot go to the Open Mic Foundation, right?
Oh,
The Open Mic Foundation is going to give it to someone else.
well, then it can
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it again. Sorry, I had to type in, right? So let's do it. The Open Mic Foundation is not gonna get that. We're gonna give it to someone else. Glynis! Glynis, we're gonna get that over to you. All right. Thank you so much. So Kim, we have one more draw, guys, and we're gonna do that with Kim. Before we go there, Kim, can you just share some insights and just wrap up our call? Guys, before you do that, any questions, guys, any thoughts, any comments? We would really like you to share some of the things that you are actually thinking and feeling at this moment. Go for it, Kim.
Okay, so I think that the highlight is of the year to recognize that we all going to, in many different ways, be influenced by the global year 6 because it's the blanket that holds us together globally at the moment. We're all traveling in this blanket of the world that's calling on us to prioritize hypersensitivity to everything around us and responsibility, duty, and all-encompassing love to one another. So it's that element of being kind, but also not being exploited, bringing the balance right. And this theme of just be is hugely important, that it's really okay if we disagree. I respect you for your opinions. You respect me for my opinions, and somewhere along the line, we harmonize. And in that space, we actually find our truth. So it's like a synergistic approach, using the twos to come together as a nurturing body in the 6. It's also reminding us to, during the course of this year, where you're having to really prove, disprove, reprove to yourself certain things that are working or not working. It's about saying, I'm okay with putting that aside, and I'm okay with taking care of my own. You can't be things to all people, but you need to be able to be things to your people. And don't stay where you are tolerated, go where you are celebrated. Life is a joyful package. It is meant to be loving, and you're meant to have experiences that involve love and gratitude, and don't settle for anything less. So be the love, be the gratitude, be the peace, be the harmony, and go where that is celebrated.
Fantastic. So, Kimmy, Glennis is asking, can you please send the quote to her that you quoted? I'm not too sure.
The Rumi quote.
Okay.
So I can definitely do that. Free is the one who is not offended by the insults of people, and the hero is the one who does not offend those who deserve it. So very interesting Rumi quote to ponder on, and it actually is in the Storyteller's Journal.
Okay, so Glennis, if you want to get that quote, you're going to go to the Storyteller's Journal to go get the quote from there. And if you want to know where it's sitting, I have just sent you that link at this moment.
Cool.
So guys, one more draw. This is a 30-minute session with Kim. She has gifted you guys with a numerology for 30 minutes. It really does take longer, but I think she just wants to give you an insight of a few things, within that specific time. So if you can, for those that have joined, please hashtag global 6 year, and so that we can just do this last draw. Okay. Ladies, while I get that done, is there any last final words? I think in this chat we have a comment. This was great, interesting chat. I feel like we all need to hear this and stand strong. Thanks, Dyan and Kimmy. Always blessings, open minds, and gems. Thanks, Rudolph. Appreciate it. Any last final words, ladies, while I do this?
No, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Just
Thanks,
to be
Kimmy.
completely tuning into your 6th chakra, it's a good idea to go and read up about your 6th chakra. Wear some amethyst. I've got my little amethyst bullet on me today. Buy some amethyst, put it all around you. Go and open that third eye. Go and find your truth, revision your vision, and just be authentic, and be caring. Just ultimately be caring of yourself, others, everyone around you.
Dyan, yourself?
No, I think we pretty much did wrap it up. Thanks, Sheshni. Definitely.
All right,
Be
guys.
fearless. Be the tiger.
Amina, you have won the 30-minute session with Kim. Amina, I hope you're still on. I'm not too sure. Kim, you have Amina's details. I'm sure you will reach out to
I
her
do.
as well. Just some comments coming from Jill. Fantastic insights from both Diane and Kim. Guys, you are most welcome. For me to arrange this, I am connected with a lot of people. And I bring the people that are willing to share their insights and have true belief of what they're doing and to share their truth in terms of their stories and what they're currently doing. These two beautiful ladies, they took their time, they wrote these articles for you guys. They have really, really put so much of time and effort to that. To start off the year with the beginning, it was really, really great. So Diane and Kim, thank you so much. I so appreciate you both with all that you do in the community. More especially is that what you give to open mic. I truly, truly honor both of you. I've scheduled my session with Diane to give me my blueprint for the astrology. I've never done it before, so I am very intrigued. I am very intrigued to see what comes out. So Diana will be seeing you soon. Thank you, Amina. I see you are on. Congratulations on your 30 minutes. With Kim. I'm sure you guys will connect soon. Guys, if there's any questions, if you guys want to connect with Kim and Diane, you're welcome to DM me directly. If you want to find out more about them on the chat, you can also connect with them. They are on Facebook. You'll be able to connect directly with each of their own organizations. They have their websites. Diane, do you want to share your website details where they can find you?
Okay, it's www.iamdyan, so it's imdyan.co.za.
Okay, I'm sure I can type this in here. Let's just see. Kimmy, yours?
www.kimmerology.co.za. KIMMEROLOGY.
Oh, you're killing me. Just hold a second. Hold a second. It's .com, Diane, right?
Yeah.
An arrow code. Okay, let's try Kim. It's KIMM.
ER.
Yeah.
OLO.
Yeah.
GY.
I'm just checking here now, Sheshni.
No, .co.za.
It's .co.za, yeah, not .com.
Okay, all right, got it. I'm going to pay to Kim. Yours is there. So, Amina is saying, could I possibly give my 30 minutes to another viewer as I'm aware of Kimmy's talent? Kimmy, are you okay with that?
Pass it on.
Pass it on?
Paying it
Whoever
forward.
wishes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go again. Because Amina wants to gift it. Amina, thank you so much. I'm sure the viewers and myself appreciate it. So thank you so much for that. I just want to put that in there. So guys, let's do this again. Stop sharing. Let me share again. Hold on 1 second, guys. It's just going to take a minute. And we're going to do this again. Okay, guys. So this is for the 30 minutes session with Kim. Kevin.
No,
Kevin.
it's meant to be.
So Kevin, I don't know if I can give you 2 prizes. I'm going to give you 1 prize.
No, but Shem, he won them. He can have 2.
Right?
He won them. Fair and square. Random.
Okay.
Yeah, random selection. No, that's
okay.
fair.
Okay. All right. So Diane's called me on it. So I'm not going to question her. I'm going to leave her. Okay, fantastic, guys. So Kevin, you are the winner of the numerology with Kim, and you wanted to find out more. So congratulations, Kevin. Kevin and Glynis, we're going to send out your books. Diane will post them through. I will connect with both of you, get the addresses, and Diane, I'll be in contact with you. So
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Yeah, brilliant.
No problem, guys. Guys, thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic day, guys. And
You too.
Have a wonderful year.
yeah,
Thank
have a
you.
great year. We shall definitely connect soon. Thank you all. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you want to connect with us, please follow us.